Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
With a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
Let's go.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right. I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you enjoyed last night inside FedEx Forum. Kevin Durant and the Silly Suns were in town. Fun game. Grizzlies win. That's 3 in a row. 12 was called. He answered, as he normally does. And Psycho Cam Spencer created what I think is the scene of the night in the NBA. We'll enjoy it all momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. When we finish this open, we'll take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Kevin Durant wasn't only in the news last night because he got bullied by Cam Spencer and Desmond Bane. That wasn't all of it. Also, a report surfaced detailing what the Suns are looking for this offseason in a possible, if not probable, KD deal, and how upset he was to find out his name was being put in trade talks at the trade deadline. I'll walk you through all that. Tell you what the asking price seems to be in Phoenix for a Kevin Durant. We'll do that in about 20 minutes. What we talked about Monday is now official. Yankees ace Garrett Cole is going to have Tommy John surgery done for the season before the start of the season. I'll tell you what that did to the Yankees World Series odds. We'll do it in just a bit. The original tribal chief.
He's back.
Roman Reigns is back. Made his return to WWE last night. Smashed Seth Rollins. Beat up CM Punk. His wise man might be straying, though.
What's going on there?
We might have some wise man problems. We'll explore it a little later on in the show. Steph Curry has been named an assistant general manager for Davidson basketball. He's supporting his alma mater. I can already see where this is headed.
Yep.
Spend a few minutes on that in the next segment. And the WCC tournament title game is tonight, as it normally is. You'll be watching Gonzaga against St. Mary's. I'll give you some interesting numbers connected to this game, and I'll tie it back and make a point with your University of Memphis Tigers. I promise I'll be able to do all that, and we're going to do it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carryout, and then we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies because Game 65 of a scheduled 82, it was played last night in downtown Memphis. Kevin Durant and the Silly Sons were in town. Fun night for the home team. Final score, Grizzlies 120, Suns 118. 12 was called down the stretch. Once again, he answered down the stretch. Once again, Ja Morant took over in the fourth, scored at least 10 points in the final period for the third straight game, finished with 29 points, 12 assists, and 4 rebounds. 8 of 8 from two-point range, 10 of 10 from the free throw line. Not as good from the three-point line, but who cares about that?
I don't.
Bennett, before we get to the scene of the night,
okay,
tell me how nice it is to know that you can always call 12 and he will always pick up. Like in life, think about this. How nice is it to know you have somebody, if you need them, that you could call at any time and they're going to pick up and be there for you? Are you that for somebody?
I don't know if I'm that for somebody. I mean, maybe my wife, right? But
You would hope so.
I would hope so, that I mean that much to her, that
Right.
she could call me and I would answer
Yeah.
and save the day. But other than that, I don't think anybody relies on me like that, unfortunately.
Really, it's a lonely place to get in
Yeah.
life, I would imagine, when you don't feel like there's anybody you have to call when you need to call somebody. You know, there are people out there right now who live in that life. They don't have anybody to call, Bennett. Isn't that sad?
It is very sad. One thing that you mentioned about him last night, obviously he was awesome again last night, but Taylor Jenkins mentioned this in his post game, and it really is like an underrated thing, this free throw thing. Like, dude, he is not missing from the line. He was 10 of 10 last night, and when you look at like how tight that game was, Grizzlies were 23 of 27 from the line, Suns were 16 of 22. Like, that could have been it.
Well, it's not
right?
only awesome that he's consistently making free throws, it's that he's always going to get them because he's impossible to guard.
That's right.
You can't stay in front of him.
Well, dude, and he is, I mean, listen, obviously he looks better. He looks like he's not wincing as much out there. I think maybe the pain has subsided a little bit, hopefully. And he looks more aggressive. Like, he just does, man. He looks like 22, 23 Ja right now. He really does.
And you know where it looks like, and these are little things that maybe don't even sometimes result in points, but they're indicators that he's feeling better or feeling more confident in his body or feeling more like himself. Honestly, go back to the weekend when he took flight.
Yeah.
Okay, that was outrageous to even try that, and obviously it was unsuccessful. But the idea that he thought he could try that was an incredible indicator, a positive one. Last night, it's, you know, where it looks different. And by different, I mean different than recent weeks, but similar to what we've seen before. Mm-hmm. It's this stuff. It's the bounce here, here. Nobody can stay in front of him.
Yeah.
He'll get you so off balance. Yep. He gets you off balance and then gets into you. And then there's the whistle. There's the contact. And there should be the whistle. Maybe the whistle doesn't come as often as it should, but that's the thing. He gets you switched, and then he gets you so off balance because he's just outrageous with the basketball in his hands.
Outrageous.
He gets you off balance, and then he gets into you. Or he gets you off balance, and then he just step back, wide open 6-footer. He's just really difficult to deal with. And I don't mean really difficult to deal with in the middle of the second quarter. I mean, when the chips are on the table and, all right, we've been doing this for 45 minutes. We got 3 left. This game could go either way. Let's call 12 and see what happens.
Yeah.
He delivers. He's not just capable of taking over games. He is wired to take them over in the fourth quarter when they are up for grabs. It is incredible to have that type of person on your team. Not every great player is built for those moments. Draymond Green talked about this a few years ago in the playoffs as he was trying to explain how playoff basketball is different than regular season basketball. He said there are some dudes who they can have incredible regular seasons, but when the first 82 games are over and now we're playing postseason basketball, it's just different. And we're not going to let you do the things you've been doing for 82 games.
Yep.
We're going to take something away from you. And you better be able to do something else, because if you can't do anything other than this one thing we're going to take away from you, you're not going to be effective. Mm-hmm. Some guys just aren't built to be great playoff players or fourth quarter players or the money's on the table, let's see who gets it players. Ja's wired that way. Up here, the physical stuff is easy to see. A lot of that's up here. Are you comfortable in this moment? Do you want them calling you? Like, it's become a thing, call 12. I'm not exaggerating. There are all-star level players in the NBA. I promise you, their teammates know who they are. They don't want to get called. They don't like that moment. They're not as focused on the good that could come from succeeding in that moment as much as they're burdened by the possibility of them missing.
Ben Simmons once upon a time.
Michael Jordan, not worried about missing. Kobe Bryant, not worried about missing. You know who else isn't worried about missing? Ja Morant. And you know why? In part, A, he's wired that way. B, because he almost never does. As we talked about last time, he took over a game in the fourth quarter. He is, over the past 3 decades, quite literally the best when you define the situation as game could go either way, final couple of minutes, let's go. Who makes the highest percentage of shots in those situations? It is not Michael Jordan. It is not Kobe Bryant. It is not LeBron James. It is not Steph Curry. It's not Kevin Durant. It's Ja Morant. Throughout his career,
Damn.
That's what he's been doing, and he was able to hit big shot after big shot after big shot. He's got his phone with him at all times, Bennett.
Yes.
He don't mute it. He don't mute his ringer. He don't put you on airplane mode. He doesn't send you straight to voicemail. That's the type of friend you want to have in this world, isn't it? It's a tough world, Bennett. Everybody needs somebody they can call when they just absolutely feel like they ain't got nobody else to call. I hope you're that for somebody. You know who Ja Morant is that for? Everybody, all of us.
It feels that way.
He's that for all of us.
It feels that way.
He's
it
all
sure
of
does.
our best friends. Ja Morant is all of our best friends.
I like to think he's my best friend.
Because
yeah.
when we need him, we know we can call him, and we know that he'll pick up. We know that he won't send you to voicemail. I send people to voicemail every day. I am not everybody's best friend. I might not be there for you. I would like to.
That's true. I never answer my phone.
I don't really answer my phone that often. I want to see if you'll text me and tell me what you were calling about before I just all randomly pick up and say hello. I don't know what I'm getting into.
He might be the only star or person in this country anymore that answers their phone.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it too.
I appreciate it too. Don't ever take it for granted, Bennett. There will be a day when you and I are sitting here. You got a court date or something later on today? What's going on with you?
No.
Look at you. You look like you got.
You like me? I'd put on a little button down.
You look like you're ready for jury duty today, buddy.
No.
You could sit and listen to some testimony today.
I mean, dude, like I saw Cam Spencer feeling himself last night. And I was kind of feeling myself coming in today.
Good.
Yeah, thank you, man.
You
Appreciate
look good
it.
today.
You look good too.
I mean, I look normal, but you look good.
Thank you.
Not that your normal isn't good. I didn't mean to imply that. If that's the way that came across.
Trying to be better every day.
If that's the way that came across, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I'm just saying you look good. I was just complimenting you. All right? I don't answer my phone every time somebody calls. Bennett doesn't answer his phone every time he calls, but Ja Morant does.
Answer my phone.
Ja Morant is everybody's best friend. Don't take it for granted. There will be a day, Bennett, when you and I are sitting here, and you won't just be able to call 12, you know? I hope it's not for 20 years, but you just won't be out there. There will be a day where we'll be sitting here and we're going, man, I wish we had somebody to call. That was a close game last night. I wish we could have called somebody, and we won't know who we should call. But that is not our current problem. We know exactly who to call.
Yeah.
His name is Ja Morant. Now let's get to the good stuff.
Oh, let's go.
Let's get to the good stuff. Psycho Cam Spencer. You might have noticed the injury status report was a mess yesterday. Oh, it was it's just like a lot of names on it.
Yeah.
It's just too many.
I want to give multiple shout outs too, by the way.
Go ahead.
Well, I want to, because we're going to show Cam some love because it's just incredible.
It's
the video we're about to play is amazing. But dude, everybody else, man, I thought as a unit, all those guys coming out, dude, Bagley was good in spurts last night. Jay Huff was awesome. I mean, he was 4 of 8 from 3.
Got another reverse dunk added to the resume.
Lamar Stevens, dude, his defense on KD on that final play, he was awesome. Scotty was awesome. And obviously Cam, like, dude, the reserves, everybody that had to step up last night, amazing.
In basketball, that is what we call a next man up mentality.
It really was.
There was a next man up mentality inside FedEx Forum last night. So Ja Morant was the star of the game. That goes without saying. But the dude that got most of attention last night was Psycho Cam Spencer, because
amazing.
With a messed up status report, you got to go deeper into the roster than you otherwise might go. And that's how you end up with a two-way player playing real minutes in a March game when you are still chasing a top 2 seed, theoretically, in the Western Conference standings. At some point, Cam Spencer finds himself mostly alone in the corner, knocks down a 3 and decides he needs to tell Kevin Durant about it, and the rest of it was just hilarious. Kyrie, if you got it, let's watch it together.
Pass down the 3. Bain. Here's Spencer for 3. It's through! Cam Spencer! Grizzlies by 5. Pippen with the knockaway.
And he went right to Kevin Durant after he made the shot.
And Durant barking at Bain. Spencer getting in the middle of it.
But the thing is, after he made the shot and immediately looked dead at Kevin Durant after he knocked it down.
So good.
You said it, Brevin. You know, back in the day, Spencer just telling Kevin Durant, you know, I'm here to play ball.
Let's see what happens here afterwards. Oh, he put his hand in his face. Desmond Bain's like, you're not having that with my teammate. And that's where he steps in just to let him know. And I can tell you this much, partner. This is the old Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
I love that line from BK.
The best.
It did feel like the old Memphis Grizzlies. Like there was a level of intensity to that game that I felt like we have not seen in a minute, man.
Well, somebody else connected these dots on Twitter. I don't guess I did. I'm not good at keeping up with numbers. Like I know John Morant wears number 12, but I'm just not good at keeping up with numbers. Mm-hmm. Like if you ask me right now,
I don't either.
This is crazy. I think I know. It's not clear to me right now what number Steph Curry wears. And I think most people know that.
He is 30.
Number
30.
But I don't know that I would have guessed that right.
I think I would have known
I'm not good with numbers. I just don't keep up with them like that. I know Ja is 12, and outside of that, I don't really know much. I never made this connection. Somebody did. You know what number Cam Spencer wears?
24.
You know who used to wear that?
Dylan.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Yeah. So, that's who he is. That's why Dan Hurley recruited him to UConn. Yeah. That's why Dan Hurley loved him. That's in part why the Grizzlies drafted him. It's not just for the basketball stuff. He's an amazing shooter, but the other basketball stuff, he's a great basketball player. Let's not get it twisted. But he ain't going to pop in a lot of the ways prospects typically pop. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean. But that mindset is valuable. That mindset is something you win with. And I don't want to get hyperbolic here. The mindset of a two-way player is never going to be the thing that leads anybody to a championship, okay? But I like having people like that in my locker room.
Yeah.
I like having people like that around my team. I like having people like that on the court when I need them because they can raise the intensity of everything. They can raise the emotion of everybody. If you remember, we had Dan Hurley on the day after the Grizzlies selected Cam Spencer in the second round of the 2024 NBA draft. And just go back and watch it. Loves, in all caps, Cam Spencer. And not just the way he can shoot it or the way he can play make or the way he understands offensive schemes, when to cut, all that stuff. The mindset. He is wired a lot like Dan Hurley. He says things like basketball is life and death, and it sounds ridiculous because it's obviously not, but that is the way he approaches it. He thinks of it that way. There are a lot of reasons why UConn won the national championship last season. Donovan Clingan standing in the middle is a big part of it. But Cam Spencer's approach to the sport and mentality to everything was a significant part of it. I've talked to Dan about him. I've talked to Luke Murray on that staff about him. They could not be bigger fans because they really do believe the mindset he takes to everything elevated their program even after that first national championship. And if you're Kevin Durant there, you just have to be wondering. I saw somebody else make this point on Twitter, and it's something that I have noticed, and KD seems to handle it perfectly or whatever. But it is wild to me how many young players will just pop off on Kevin Durant.
Well, I mean, we saw
Anthony Edwards famously in the playoffs,
and we saw the Grizzlies do it to LeBron, right? Like we've seen, we see these young guys. They're
it's just,
a different breed. Yeah,
it's just something,
right?
It is
right,
something,
right?
Like it logically makes no sense. Like if I were a rookie in the NBA on a two-way contract, and this is perhaps why I'm me and Cam Spencer's Cam Spencer, right? I'm just speaking for myself here. Maybe I wouldn't make a good basketball player, but if I were a rookie on a two-way contract, talking crazy to Kevin Durant would be unimaginable to me. That wouldn't make any sense to me. I would be more likely to, in a dead ball situation, tap Kevin Durant on the hip and be like, "Hey man, I just want to say it's cool to be on the court with you. I grew up watching you, and this is amazing that I'm here, and I hope you know how much you mean to a lot of us young." I'm more likely to say some shit like that than I am to be talking wild to Kevin Durant. I often wonder, like, what does LeBron James think when Dylan Brooks is talking crazy to him a few years ago? Or what does Kevin Durant think when suddenly you're getting double bullied in Memphis by Cam Spencer and Desmond Bane? And oh, by the way, where's all Kevin Durant's teammates? The Grizzlies rallied around a two-way player. All right? The Grizzlies rallied around a two-way player they didn't know 7 months ago.
Right.
Where's Kevin Durant's teammates? That's another problem with the silly Suns. But
something was going on with them last night.
They're a mess. They're a mess. It's over with. We'll talk about that in the next segment.
Yeah.
But they're a mess. Like internally, they're just a mess. But I've often wondered, like, what must it be like for Kevin Durant to look up and a two-way rookie is talking crazy to me? I am maybe one of the 10 best players to ever even do this. Who are you talking to? And it happens to him all the time.
Yeah, it does.
I would go crazy. Every once in a while, I'll, like, your mentions are all messed up on Twitter. And somebody will be like, and you're the blah, 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 and you look like a penis and you don't know ball. All the normal stuff. And I'm like, well, who is this talking crazy to me? And I'll click on it. It's like a 23-year-old podcaster from Connecticut or something. And I'm like, fine. And you might be right, but you should be asking me for advice more than just popping off at me.
Dude, that was a tough night for KD last night, bro. Yeah.
You should be tweeting me to ask if you can get my cell phone number so that maybe we could have a conversation to see if there's any advice I could give a 23-year-old podcaster trying to break into the college basketball industry. Because maybe I would have something to offer, given that I've done some neat stuff. And instead, they're just talking crazy to me, telling me I look like a penis. And maybe that's the same thing.
He had Ja yelling in his face.
Not that I'm Kevin Durant. Let me be clear.
I got you.
But
you're the Kevin Durant of podcasting.
Maybe I'm the Kevin Durant of college basketball podcasting.
That's it.
Okay?
There it is. No, he had Ja yelling in his face. He had Dez getting in his face. Cam Spencer yelling at him. Like, dude.
I would just be like, y'all need to calm down. Look at who you think I am.
It's his second straight missed potential game winner in this building. He's had a tough go in this building the past couple weeks.
All his teammates hate him. He just found that he just watched LeBron get him a Luka.
Well, they should hate themselves.
Just watched Steph get him a Jimmy, and he's stuck down here in Phoenix losing games and getting talked shit to by Cam Spencer. Like, that's Kevin Durant's. No wonder this dude. He's been very public about he played a role in getting the marijuana policies removed from the NBA testing. Because he smokes every day.
Yeah.
And makes sense to me. I would too if I were Kevin Durant.
Yeah, for sure.
Imagine you worked your whole life to become one of the greatest basketball players this planet's ever seen, and you look up on a Monday night in Memphis and Cam Spencer's talking shit to you. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I'd need to smoke after that too.
I'd need to smoke after that too.
Yeah.
I don't even smoke, but I'd probably make an exception.
It was so good last night, man. Everything about that was awesome. They got another easy one coming up on Wednesday. Hopefully they can get that. This is what I said this on the post game last night. This is what good teams do, man. Unless you're the freaking Oklahoma City Thunder this year, like every team hits a rough patch at some point in the season, loses multiple games in a row. It always happens in a long NBA season. Grizzlies lost 4 in a row. Now they got a potential to back it up with 4 wins in a row.
3-game winning streak. Let's make it 4. Utah Jazz, next opponent. That's tomorrow night. Why not? Let's just turn it into a 4-game winning streak. I don't think we should have to call 12 at the end of a game against the Jazz.
I would hope not.
Can I talk to Ja for a second?
Yeah.
Ja. I appreciate you always being there, ready to answer. But all of us need a break at some point.
Yeah.
Like, all of us need a mental break at some point.
Don't pick up tomorrow night. It's someone else's turn to carry this.
Put your phone on silence. Put your phone on silent. I remember when I was young, I was in college, and I had this friend, and I got broken up with, and that was a heartbreaking thing at the time. And you just want to talk about it. You ever been heartbroken? You just want to talk about it. Or at least I do. Maybe I'm just weird, but I just want to talk about it, right?
I get it.
And I remember one time I had this friend, and she would listen and listen, and one time it was like a moment of clarity for me. You know what she said to me? She said, I just can't do this anymore. I can't talk about this again today, right? She needed a break. I understood. That's John Morant. That's what I feel like I love that he's taking our calls every time, but we don't need to keep calling him this much.
We don't. No, we don't.
We don't need to call him as much as we've been calling him. All right? You need to relax a little bit. So here's what, John, put your phone down tomorrow night. All right? Turn it on silent. Keep it near you in case of an emergency.
Yes.
Keep it near you in case of an emergency. But I'm going to wake up tomorrow trusting we're not going to need to call you tomorrow night. Oh, we're going to need to call you again soon.
Yeah.
And
probably Friday night against the Cavs.
We're going to need to call you again soon.
Right.
And we're going to get to a place after we get these first 82 out of the way where we're going to probably have to call you a lot.
Yep.
We're going to spend a lot of time on the phone going forward. But I hope to God we don't have to call you on Wednesday night.
I would hope so, too.
Put your phone on silence. Keep it close just in case of an emergency. But I'm comfortable with him silencing his phone for tomorrow night. Everybody needs a mental break, Bennett.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a mental break. I think Wednesdays should be Jaws.
Me too.
I told you the silly Suns are a mess. A report has surfaced about how upset, bothered Kevin Durant was when he found that Kevin Durant was out there trying to work a trade for Jimmy Butler and then come to realize they were trying to trade you, maybe even for Jimmy Butler. It is a mess in Phoenix. Now we have a report of what the front office is looking for in a likely Kevin Durant trade this offseason. I'll give you the numbers next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
I never in a million years would have ever thought that John Cena's final run would be as a heel.
I love it.
I love it.
Once they saw this from The Rock.
They knew it. Everybody knew it except for Cody, which was so good.
Great camera work by WWE.
And then the kick. Yeah, I don't think WWE gets enough credit for the camera work and the production quality. I mean, it is incredible.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Morant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
So while Kevin Durant was getting double bullied by Desmond Bain and Cam Spencer inside FedEx Forum last night, a report had surfaced that confirmed what I think we all knew, which is that he was, quote, upset to find out his name was placed in trade talks by Phoenix back in February before the trade deadline. He was behind the scenes, reportedly, trying to figure out a way to maybe improve Phoenix's roster and genuinely had no interest in leaving the franchise. At a time where Jimmy Butler is forcing his way out of Miami, KD was more like, hey, I know this thing in Phoenix ain't working, but the truth is I don't want to give up on this team right now, and I don't want to move right now, and I don't want to go to Memphis. I don't want to go to Golden State. I don't want to go anywhere. That's where his head was in February. Come to find out, Phoenix was just as interested in moving him as they were in trying to put better pieces around him, because it might have been easier to move him than it would to put better pieces around him. So that relationship probably already wasn't great.
No.
But according to the report from the Arizona Republic, KD realizing, oh, really, they were just going to ship me to Memphis or Golden State or wherever, it fractured the relationship even further to the point where it's believed to be beyond repair. He is still under contract for next season, but nobody thinks he's going to play in Phoenix next season. He had the incident with Budenholzer last week. Small thing, I guess, but boy, the TV cameras picked up on it and it got a lot of attention. It's just a mess.
And the roster's a disaster. They have no flexibility. Like, it's just, It's the classic, we tried something, it didn't work, so let's double down on it, and it probably won't work. It's the classic, hey, I got $1,000, I'm going to sit down at the blackjack table. It's gone. What should I do now? Go home. Smart thing. But if I go home, then I have to admit this was a failure. And there's at least a chance if I don't go home, go to the ATM, I can turn this failure into a success. I guess that's what I'll try. Yeah. All right, buddy, I know how this works. Now you're down $2,000. But then going back to the ATM, that was Bradley Beal. What could we possibly do to put Devin Booker and Kevin Durant in a better position to succeed? Bradley Beal? Didn't work. Nope.
There were people, smart basketball people even, who thought it might. Don't let them lie to you. You go back and look at all the reviews of the Bradley Beal trade. The idea that it was all negative is just not true. There were some people who were like, this is how you win a championship. It just has not worked. And the problem, of course, when you double down on bad and go bring in a Bradley Beal, is that he happens to be one of the few players in the world, in this league, with a no-trade clause. So when you realize that doesn't work, and you say, okay, now we got to move off of Bradley Beal. We don't want to give up on Devin Booker, and we don't want to give up Kevin Durant. So the big piece we can move here to make our franchise better is the Bradley Beal piece. Problem is he's got a no-trade clause, and he doesn't seem to care about winning or anything other than he likes living in where he lives and not moving his family, and his kids are in school, and he really has just decided on some level, I'm not chasing basketball stuff anymore.
Right.
I'm not going to disrupt my family's life because they think they can improve the basketball team without me. I negotiated this no-trade clause because I knew I didn't want to move my family. I was going to set up roots somewhere, and I'm here, and I'm not moving. All right, well, so now what do? I guess it's time to look at KD packages. So that's where we're at. They're going to move him this summer. Reportedly, here's what they're going to ask. They want a young player of significance, whatever that means.
Okay.
And 3 first-round picks, which means they could end up getting, at least they're asking, and this is just highlights how ridiculous the Mavericks Luka Doncic thing is. Phoenix's reported asking price is going to be probably long-term better, bigger than what the Mavericks got for Luka Doncic, because what the Mavericks got for Luka Doncic is a often injured in his 30s Anthony Davis and very little else that mattered. Like, you should not be able to get more for Kevin Durant in the year 2025 than you can get for Luka Doncic in the year 2025. But they might. They might.
They probably will.
And if you're, I don't know, a basketball fan who has enjoyed Kevin Durant's career, don't you want him to land somewhere meaningful? Wouldn't you like to see Kevin Durant play meaningful basketball games again?
Yeah.
You don't love Kevin Durant? I like Kevin Durant.
I love Kevin Durant.
I love Kevin Durant.
I love Kevin Durant. And it's funny, I used to, during the Thunder days, and we had the little bit of a rivalry and everything, I wasn't a fan. And then, he goes to Golden State. It's like, oh, they went out and bought a championship, right? I've changed my opinion on him over the years. When I hear him talk, I think he's like a thoughtful guy. I like how he approaches life. At least what I see on the surface. I'm a KD fan. Yeah.
I'm a KD fan. I didn't love watching him almost beat the Grizzlies last night, but I do love watching him be awesome in defeat against the Grizzlies. Like, if you're a Grizz fan last night, you got everything.
You got to see him have a huge game.
You got to see an all-time great be great.
Yep.
You got to see 12 get called.
Yep.
You got to see the scene of the night in the NBA between Cam Spencer and Kevin Durant. If you're a Grizzlies fan last night inside FedEx Forum, you got to see everything. So Kevin Durant's final games in a Suns uniform, they're happening this year. Mm-hmm. And then he'll get moved for a package. And I'd like to look up in July. You want him to come home to Memphis, Tennessee. You want Kevin Durant to be here.
I'm a huge KD fan, yes.
I would love if Kevin Durant were a Grizzly.
I'm a big KD fan. Yeah. I'm like, if you put KD on just, again, this sounds like the asking price is pretty big. If you put KD on this roster right now, I think they're winning the title.
I think there's a handful of rosters. I think there's a handful of franchises that have the pieces to make a deal for Kevin Durant this offseason and immediately become obvious title contenders. Mm-hmm. The Grizzlies are one of those teams. You know who another one is? Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird to be the one seed.
Circle thing.
It's weird to be the one seed.
That'd be gross.
That's what I would ask.
That would be gross.
The only thing I would like more than Kevin Durant in a Grizzlies uniform, and it's only because I root for stories like this.
Don't you dare say that.
I would like it. I would love to see him go back to Oklahoma City.
Are you serious?
I would love it.
Gross.
I would love it.
You want to put that man back in that Loves uniform or whatever the hell? Nah, dude. That's gross.
I want Ben Affleck to get back with Jennifer Garner, and I want Kevin Durant to get back with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Nah, I don't want the full circle moment. I want him to finish his story somewhere else.
I want everybody to get back together.
Nah,
I want everybody to get back together. I want Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner to get back together.
No way.
Did you see Jennifer Garner's boyfriend?
No, what's he doing? He's mad. He doesn't like it. What's going on?
Oh,
yeah.
Big mad. Oh, he got photographed yesterday. Guess with who? For the first time since Jennifer Garner was photographed hugging lovingly Ben Affleck during one of their children's birthday parties at a paintball course. Jennifer Garner's boyfriend was photographed publicly. For the first time since that, guess with who?
J-Lo.
I wish. With his ex-girlfriend before Jennifer Garner. Oh, you want to hug your ex-husband? Okay, cool. I'll just go have lunch with my ex-girlfriend. Okay. Okay. I want Jennifer Garner from Ben Affleck to get together again, and I want Kevin Durant and Oklahoma City Thunder to get together again, and then I want them all to go on a double date.
Okay. Well,
and then I want Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner sitting courtside in Oklahoma City, supporting Kevin Durant and the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals against the Grizzlies.
I hate everything about what you just said.
Oh, it would be so good. It would be so good.
Disagree.
It would be so good. Hey, you're not the first person who's had Kevin Durant and the Grizzlies married in the offseason. That's a real thing that deep in the internet people talk about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, it's like he's the perfect fit anywhere, right? Like, he's one of the great players of all time, but
they want a young player of significance.
Man.
We got some of them. We got young players of significance. They want some first-round picks. We got some of them, too.
It would
be
the perfect fit.
Though Kevin Durant reportedly did not want to come to Memphis at the trade deadline. He never said
he didn't want to go anywhere, it appears.
That's right. That's at least what he has suggested. He didn't want to go anywhere at the trade deadline. But
now, after last night, I don't know if he's going to go.
You know what? Except those guys.
No, he likes that.
Yes.
He likes that. Everything that happened last night, even when KD's like yelling at Cam, like, shut your, like he likes all that. Yes.
There's probably a part of him that goes, who does he think he is talking to me? I'm Kevin Durant, right? And there's probably another part of him to be like, I kind of like it.
Yes.
I kind of like, let's. He did say he liked it with Anthony Edwards and that he loves Anthony Edwards, and my experience with basketball players, or for the most part, I don't know. Athletes within sports can be different. I think baseball players are very different mindset. Baseball players might have an argument one day and like 6 months later want to fight about it. Basketball players can turn it off pretty quick.
Yeah, that's true.
Like basketball players can be in each other's faces in the second quarter, and then the final buzzer, and they're like
dapping it up.
They're trading jerseys.
Yeah,
like even like Ja was enjoying Desmond and Cam talking crazy to Kevin Durant. If you saw him in the background, he was on the bench at the time.
Yeah,
but if you saw him in the background, he was having fun with that.
Yeah, he was.
And then you see the game's over, and KD's walking in the locker room, and he's dapping up Ja.
Right.
It's all fine.
Right.
You can get past that. You can get past that stuff so quickly. That really is just basketball stuff. And if you try to make it out to be more than that, you're making it out to be more than what it is.
Yeah.
It's just basketball stuff. Kevin Durant will be on the move this summer, and if he happened to find a home in downtown Memphis, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Number 2.
What we talked about yesterday seemed likely at the time, is now official. Garrett Cole is going to have Tommy John surgery. Yankees ace done for the year before the start of the year, and probably going to miss part of 2026 too, because these injuries are not easy to bounce back from.
I'm starting to not feel as bad about the upcoming season as an Orioles fan.
This is very important in sports to remember, that you start looking at your roster and comparing it to other people's rosters, and then you start going, well, there's no way we're going to be better than them. Because, we'll get into a series with them, and then it's Game 7, and they got Garrett Cole, and we don't. Well, they're not going to have Garrett Cole. All right? And they're not going to have him on opening day, and they're not going to have him in Game 6 or Game 11 or Game 16 or all the games that he was supposed to pitch. He ain't pitching none of them.
Maybe not Stanton either.
Yeah, he
said he's got bad elbows.
Yes.
He's got bad elbows. As someone who's struggled with elbows before.
I had a double tennis elbow once upon a time.
I think he's got worse than tennis elbow. He said he's in severe pain in his elbows.
As somebody who has had double tennis elbow, I have been walking through life past 5 or so years thinking there's nothing worse than double tennis elbow.
Yeah.
If you're telling me there's something worse than that, that's not great.
And they also lost Soto, dude.
And then they lose Soto right out of the middle of that lineup. And that was somebody who, Aaron Judge is amazing, but some of Aaron Judge being amazing is you got Juan Soto betting right next to you.
That's right.
My point being, you look at rosters and you go, man, how could we ever beat that team? Just recognize that team might not be that team by the time you need to beat them. And we now know the Yankees will not. I talked to Michael Lees about it yesterday, and I thought he made a good point, because I saw some baseball people say starting pitchers are going to go the way of running backs in the NFL, in the sense that you don't invest in them long-term, big money, because they're going to get hurt. With running backs, it's not necessarily they'll get hurt as much as just anybody can do that job. There's Saquon Barkley, sure.
There's Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, and then there's everybody else.
And then there's 30 dudes who are more or less the same.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's exactly true with starting pitchers, but here is what you could reasonably assume if you are a Major League Baseball franchise and you sign a starting pitcher to a 5-year, $180 million deal. At least one of those 5 years, he's just not going to be there. He's just not going to be there. It happens with Jacob deGrom in Texas. It's now happening with Garrett Cole in New York. It happens everywhere. These guys, it's a shoulder, it's an elbow. Now it's Tommy John surgery. And so I had seen people make the point, you're going to see franchises, they'll give $300 million to the middle infield or the center fielder. But the days of giving $300 million to a starting pitcher, those are going to dwindle because it's a bad investment. Because at least one of those years, you're going to pay for somebody to not work because they're going to be injured, because they're always injured. And the point Mike Leafs countered with, which I think there's some sense to it, is, yeah, there will be a year you're paying somebody $35 million who can't pitch, $25 million for you who can't pitch, all right? But that $25 million you spent in a season where somebody didn't pitch is worth the money you're spending if you ever get to that Game 7 and you got to go win it, and now you got this guy available.
Yep.
He's not going to be available for you every time, but the reason you pay him is so that he might be when you really need him, because it changes everything. You go into a Game 7 with a mediocre pitcher, that's one thing. You go into a Game 7 with Garrett Cole, Jacob deGrom, they might not always be healthy, but if they are, you now have an advantage over your opponent. And is that worth $50 million? If I told Steve Cohen, the Mets owner, the cost just to have a healthy Jacob deGrom throw Game 7 of the World Series tonight is $70 million. You get nothing else from him, but he will pitch this game. You pay it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worth it to me. And that's the way you probably have to look at it. We're not paying Garrett Cole to pitch every 5 days. We're paying Garrett Cole to be healthy when we need him to throw. It's not unlike basketball conversations we have about John Morant.
Right. That's true.
You can get frustrated that he's missed a lot of games throughout recent years, but the reason you don't even think about moving on, which is what people say sometimes, is because he has been injured a lot, but he's not always injured. It's not always the same stuff. It's not lingering, like, I know the shoulder's the shoulder, but you get my point. Why do you deal with John Morant isn't there in the regular season as much as maybe you would prefer? Because as long as he's there in the postseason, that's where we're writing all the stories. That's where all the documentaries are getting made, in the postseason. And if you can have him there healthy, you got some. Same thing with Garrett Cole. He won't pitch for you in a Game 7 this season, but he might be able to next season. And if he can, that's why you pay him.
Yep.
Number 4. Number 3.
Let's go back. You tried to skip the original Tribal Chief.
I know. I was almost super disrespectful there.
Fun night last night, Raw on Netflix. You could tell it was going to be a big night. It was Madison Square Garden, Midtown Manhattan. They really played that up.
Yeah.
They let Jey Uso open.
It was cool.
That the Yeet thing is something that happens. You got the Logan Paul, Andrew Schultz thing, which was kind of funny, at least. It was like a little moment. And then you get CM Punk, Seth Rollins in a cage, and then the OTC Roman Reigns returns to the WWE.
I love a cage match.
Smashes everybody, spears everybody, but then notices his wise man is up there counseling CM Punk. What's that about?
Oh, he felt stabbed in the back. He saw that, and you saw the look on his face. He was like,
it was a look of hurt and disappointment.
I'm looking at.
It was a look of hurt and disappointment. Have you ever seen something in life you didn't want to see? That just the visual of it just went like, ugh.
Yep.
We all have.
Dude.
That's what happened to Roman last night. He looked in that ring, and he saw something he didn't want to see. And that was his wise man, Paul Heyman, counseling and consoling CM Punk.
So I felt like when the rumors were swirling, when we found out that it was going to be Cody and Cena at WrestleMania, and then the rumors were swirling that it's going to be CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns in a triple threat match. That's what we're headed to. And I was like, I don't like that. I think that's a little disrespectful to our original Tribal Chief.
The OTC.
It's disrespectful.
But they had to give him something to do. He's not the Cody Rhodes thing right now.
That's right.
So he's got to, and he's not chasing a belt right now. So he's got to have something to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they would put like number one contender status on the match, because that just if this ends up what it's going to be, a triple threat match between those dudes, it's going to just be they all hate each other, and that's going to be the storyline. But What you'll see coming out of WrestleMania probably, because there ain't no way they're putting a title on John Cena during his retirement tour. That's not happening. Whoever wins this,
how you so sure of yourself?
I'm sure of myself. Whoever wins this triple threat match is gonna be the guy like going after Cody. I feel like going forward, like that's gonna be the next rivalry.
I noticed something last night. Tell me if you noticed this.
Yeah.
First off, I didn't like it. Can I tell you why I didn't like it?
What?
The thing that makes the OTC the OTC. What is the coolest thing about Roman Reigns? The music starts. The walk to the ring. The Roman Reigns introduction is...
It's part of it. And he just came out of the crowd.
Yeah, he just came out of the crowd.
Yeah.
We didn't get the whole entrance. I want the Roman Reigns entrance.
I do too. I
didn't
will
like
say,
it.
Man, the match was awesome when CM Punk Seth did the suplex off the top. Right? Woo,
Yep.
buddy.
Yep. It's fun.
Love that.
It was fun. It was like we had both things on, and then it was lining up to where the Grizzlies were in the fourth quarter and CM Punk. So I turned off Netflix. I was like,
you can go back. Yeah,
we're gonna just close Twitter and focus on the Grizzlies game, and then we'll go back and watch Netflix after it was over and the end of Raw. So that's what we did. Fun night. Here's what I noticed. There's this moment where Jey Uso gets beat up, and he's in the back, and like Alpha Academy is surrounding him, and they're like, "We got your back, man. Don't worry about it." And he just sort of feels alone, Jey Uso. Keep in mind, he used to have a bloodline.
He did used to have a bloodline,
and now he's reduced to having Alpha Academy.
He did used to have a bloodline.
And then there's Roman Reigns at the end, looking up at his wise man, consoling CM Punk, also feeling a little alone. What happens when a Jey Uso and a Roman Reigns both look around and realize they don't have nobody no more?
Interesting.
That's what I saw.
Interesting.
That's what I saw. We're on the road to WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes still has a black eye from Travis Scott.
I'm excited about Mania. I am. I think this thing's starting to really set up.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm glad Roman's back. I was starting to get a little nervous there.
And they did confirm last night John Cena will be at Raw next week.
In Brussels or
it starts. This is weird.
They're in Germany. No, they're in Germany.
Brussels. No, they're in Brussels,
Belgium. I've been there. I've been to Brussels.
I don't think I've ever been to Brussels.
It's a nice city.
It seems like it would be. It's Raw next week's gonna start like 3:00 in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's fine.
I mean, with Netflix, the replay, like it's
fine.
way easier.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
We'll be
but anyway, it's nice to have the OTC back. I think that's what we were trying to say.
For sure.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Number 4.
Steph Curry has been named assistant general manager at Davidson Basketball. He's the first active NBA player to take on this role. He will not be the last.
Yep. The first thing that popped in my mind when I saw this was I hope that Memphis is on the phone with the likes of Precious Achua, Jalen Duren, Derrick Rose, like guys who...
Derrick Rose, maybe. Them other dudes ain't got Steph Curry money.
Yeah, but, I know that. But, like, they're active NBA players that are making NBA money right now.
Yeah.
I'd be making the calls.
You know what's going to happen here? First off, these guys realize that money is really the difference between being good or bad.
Yeah. You saw the James Harden thing last week.
Yes.
Yep.
James
Arizona
Harden,
State.
Yeah, it has been helpful in Arizona. He has no official title.
Right.
But it's just,
here's my money.
Let me help you buy some players.
Yeah.
These guys worth hundreds of millions of dollars are now realizing I can help my alma mater be good. Like, do you know how much it costs to make Davidson a great A-10 program? $3 million?
Man, and that's the thing is like there's such a difference in my opinion between come play at Davidson where Steph Curry used to play as opposed to come to Davidson where Steph Curry is your general manager.
Well, that's all nice. That's all secondary to come to Davidson and
here's the bag.
You're an A-10 level player.
Yeah.
You're a good A-10 level player. Arkansas does not want you. Kentucky does not want you. Indiana does not want you. Because you're an A-10 level player. The only programs that want you are A-10 level programs. So then what does it come down to? Who can offer the most money?
Mm-hmm.
If Steph Curry says, hey, I'm going to get this to a place where, because it won't be just Steph Curry coming out of his pocket. It'll be Steph Curry using all of his business partners to create NIL resources for Davidson. And then you know what he'll help do? He'll help recruit because these guys still know who the 7th ranked prospect in the class of 2025 is. They keep up with this stuff. You go to AAU tournaments and they're there. Maybe not Steph specifically, but Steph runs these high school camps all the time. They know these players. Mm-hmm. Steph Curry knows if there's a 5-star prospect from Memphis, Steph Curry has probably heard of him. Okay? More so than your average person watching the show right now has heard of him. These guys do stay involved in youth basketball and amateur basketball. Yep. They're going to treat this like their own little fantasy teams.
Yeah, I mean, because we always
you're turning your alma mater into your fantasy basketball team.
Yeah, man, this is where it's all going. Yeah. Like these famous alums that have made a ton of money. You got to think that they care about their school, right? Mm-hmm. That's the other part.
Well, just look
you
at
have
the
to
A10
be
now.
invested in your former school.
Well,
yeah,
at St. Bonaventure in the A10, you got Adrian Wojnarowski.
That's right.
At Davidson in the A10, you got Steph Curry. You need people like this who are invested. Not only you need rich people who are invested in your program, sure, but you need them to be able to rally other rich people. Mm-hmm. And Steph's going to be able to do that. You'll look up at Davidson will have one of the best A10 NIL piles of cash that exist. That'll happen very quickly, and I love it. I love watching players stay involved with their alma maters.
I do too.
And so, congrats to Davidson for getting Steph Curry to spend real time and I'm assuming real money to try to make his alma mater.
I'm going to need y'all former Tigers to step up. This is where we're headed. We need y'all.
This is the sport we're in.
Yep.
This is the sport we're in.
Number 5.
WCC title game is tonight. I won't bore you with too much stuff on this, but it is interesting as we keep talking about Memphis' seed, Memphis' computer numbers. Gonzaga right now is a projected 9 seed in the NCAA tournament, according to Jerry Palm.
Mm-hmm.
And yet top 10 at KenPom, Bart Torvik, and top 10 in the net. So how do they have a top 10 ranking in predictive metrics, but barely a top 10 seed in the NCAA tournament? It's the exact opposite of Memphis. Memphis has all these big wins and then a lot of close games against bad teams. And that's messed up Memphis' efficiency numbers and messed up Memphis' net ranking, KenPom ranking, all that stuff. If you're trying to figure out why Memphis is so low in a lot of those computers, it's because the AAC gives them no quadrant 1 opportunities, literally 0. And they have to play a lot of bad games. And in terms of those types of computers, you got to win those games by 20, 30, 40. You need to win them by big margins or else you're going to keep falling in the computers, and that is what's happened to Memphis. Here's the thing with Gonzaga. 8 losses, but by a total of 34 points. None by more than 8 points. And you ready for this? Here's the key. 21 double-digit wins. All but 3 of their games that they won were by double digits. They just blew out bad teams nonstop and beat nobody. The only team that they've beaten that might be in the tournament as an at-large bid is Baylor. And that happened the opening night of the season. They only got 3 quadrant 1 wins. They've lost twice to St. Mary's, but they have strong computer numbers. So this is one of those deals where you could look up on Selection Sunday. Gonzaga is ranked 8th at KenPom, but a 10 seed in the NCAA tournament. And it'll be because the predictive metrics love them for efficiency reasons, but the selection committee doesn't because they played a bunch of games and they beat a bunch of bad teams, but almost no good ones.
They beat the Dons last night. Shout out to the Dons. Valiant effort.
It was a valiant effort.
Valiant effort.
But for the 4th straight year and for the 6th time in 7 years, it'll be Gonzaga St. Mary's.
Yeah, of course.
In the title game of the WCC tournament. That's tonight, 8 o'clock. You'll be able to watch it on ESPN. Be back with GP's Carryout.
We touched on this earlier, the panel here, about what really has been the mainstay of the Grizzlies, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. Trip has just been awesome.
He's posting guys up. He's stronger than he's ever been. He's physical, and he's scoring all type of ways.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz Beat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Number 9, man. I'm gonna be ready and hype. That's just gonna be hype. My banner gonna be up right next to my brothers, Zebo, Big Spain. It's a great feeling, man. Never imagined this. I didn't think this would ever be a thing, and it's one of the biggest days of my life. I'm looking forward to it.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough Studio, and you might know if you got kids, it's spring break. It's spring break throughout the greater Memphis area, perhaps throughout this entire country. I'm not really keeping track, and that means it's Kids Day at Grind City Media. We got Louis Parrish in here, and look over there in the corner. It's Noah Doyle. We got Noah and Louis inside. What's up? What's up?
Don't be camera shy. Look, there's your camera right there. Wave to everybody.
Now, Noah has already told us he does not want to talk. But Louis made a point last night. He said he wanted to come in studio and he wanted to discuss the Memphis Grizzlies. I said, all right, that's fine. But you're gonna have to. You got to watch the game. You got to stay focused on what we're doing. And so we stayed focused throughout the fourth quarter when Ja Morant took over, scored 10+ points in the final period for the third consecutive game to extend the Grizzlies' winning streak to 3. Louis, first question for you. How nice was it to be able to watch the Grizzlies once again call 12 last night and he answered? We talked about that on the way here, right? It's nice to be able to call Ja and him answer every time. What'd you make of Ja Morant's performance last night?
It was pretty good. Just that the game was good. They won.
They won?
Yeah.
It was a fun game, and you like that because you told me yesterday, like the Suns, Lou doesn't follow the Western Conference standings too much, but like he knows the Phoenix Suns because he was worried yesterday afternoon. He said, but they've got two really good players. Who were the two good players they have?
They have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
And that's tough to deal with, right? Except the Grizzlies have Ja Morant. Who else the Grizzlies have?
They also have Desmond Bane.
And Louis said those are his two favorite players. I asked him this morning. He said Ja Morant and Desmond Bane are still his two favorite players.
Nice.
But we might be moving on to Cam Spencer if he keeps popping off to Kevin Durant. What did you think of Cam Spencer popping off last night? Do you think they were going to fight?
Yeah, honestly.
Honestly, you thought they were going to come to blows?
It was looking like it for a second. Yeah.
Does it make you happy when you see a young Grizzly talking crazy to Kevin Durant, or do you wonder, why is he talking so crazy to Kevin Durant? That's an all-time great over there.
Yeah, because everybody's been watching Kevin Durant for a really long time, and seeing somebody that just came into the season and a rookie trying to get into a fight with him is just crazy.
That was kind of crazy, but it was fun to watch, wasn't it?
It's great.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see if Bennett can hit this button.
Okay,
We'll get it going with
yeah,
GP's
let's see
carryout,
if
and then
I can
we'll
do this.
revisit the game. We'll talk a little bit more about it.
Okay, here we go.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff, but we did mostly focus on your Memphis Grizzlies because that 2-game winning streak turned into a 3-game winning streak last night with a 120-118 victory over the Phoenix Suns. Louis' favorite player, John Morant, took over in the fourth quarter, finished with 29 points once again. Hey, Lou, I don't know if you heard, but Bennett got a little excited earlier in the show, thinking about the possibility that maybe the Grizzlies could make a trade this summer and bring Kevin Durant to Memphis to play for the Grizzlies. What do you think of that? Would you be in favor of trading for Kevin Durant, making him teammates with John Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr.?
That would be cool, but it's just that, like, he almost got into a fight with one of our players. So the thing is, it would be kind of weird, like if somebody got in a fight, but then the season after that, they joined the team.
Okay, I see why you might think that would be weird, but can I ask you a question? Why do you think that's weird, but you don't think it's weird to fight with your brother every single day?
Good question.
I saw you fight with your brother yesterday, and then I saw you be brothers again this morning. Was that weird?
Actually, I was about to punch him again this morning.
Why would you do that? What did he do this morning to deserve that?
What'd he do?
He steals all my baseball cards.
He steals all your baseball cards.
Yeah,
that sounds like
that'll do
something.
it.
That sounds like something he might do. All right, let me ask you a question. So if it's possible for you and your brother to actually get into a fight, not even almost fight, but actually get into a fight on a Monday, and then be friends again and brothers again and love each other on a Tuesday, why wouldn't it be possible for Kevin Durant and Cam Spencer and Desmond Bane to all be friends together next season, despite what happened last night? I think they could get past it the same way you and your brother get past it. What's up, Noah?
What do you want to say?
Like when my
We can't hear you. You got to come in the microphone. Come here.
like when Bennett he slapped me with a wrestle buddy in the face. Yes, yeah.
Buddy, I didn't know where that sentence was going.
That scared me for a second, too. In fairness, he slapped me with the Desmond Bane wrestling buddy first. All right.
I was like, get the mute button
getting
ready.
him back.
Get the mute button ready. When the sentence started with, when Bennett slaps me, I was like, oh,
please finish
buddy,
the sentence.
Get the mute button ready.
It hurt.
Okay.
No,
all right.
it's-
Sis, yeah,
all
be
right.
quiet over
If
there.
anybody wants, if anybody has a number for child services, we could get. I didn't realize what would. You think you know somebody.
Kids say the darndest thing.
Kids do say the darndest things. The Grizzlies won last night. That's a 3-game winning streak. We'll try to go to 4 straight tomorrow against the lowly Jazz.
What's today's biggest game?
You know what? Let's go college basketball. WCC tournament. Gonzaga against St. Mary's. Lou, I know you don't follow the West Coast Conference too closely, but who you like here? The Zags, St. Mary's. Gonzaga, despite losing to St. Mary's twice this season, and despite being the 2 seed, while the Gales are the 1, the Zags are a 3.5-point favorite tonight in Las Vegas over St. Mary's. Lou, how you going to act? What do you think? The Zags or the Gales? What do you think?
I don't know. They might win. They might not.
That's a good point, Bennett. Lou's got it broken down. He says they might win or they might not, which is technically true. Zags or
Does
Gales?
this go on my record?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, by the way,
shout out to the Dons. That's what I knew they were going to cover. I had a feeling it was going to be a competitive game last night.
Okay, I love to tell you when you stink. Let me compliment you. You're now 201, 190, and 4.
Let's go.
You're negative 9.4 units.
We are so back.
You've got this down to negative single units, Bennett. You're not out of debt, but you're getting close.
I think this feels like the Gales' year in this league. I know it's hard to beat a good team 3 times in a row, but Gonzaga's had their number like over the years in that league. I think this is the Gales' year. Give me St. Mary's.
Bennett said he's taking the conference champs plus 3.5 points. That's tonight, 8 o'clock. You can watch it. You can watch it on ESPN.
What are we watching on TV?
So this will be neat today. I don't think it's dropped yet, but it is expected to drop at some point today. It's the Dissect podcast that Cole Kushner does that I've talked about before. He's this guy who's just a brilliant music guy, critic on some level, but not really a critic. He's just a guy who's super into music and really understands music in a way that most of us do not. And he has made a career out of taking mostly hip-hop albums and dissecting them track by track, word by word, beat by beat. The first one I ever listened to was a complete breakdown, track-by-track breakdown of Kanye West's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and it was amazing. Understand that at the time, that was my favorite album of all time. I listened to it a million times. There is so much stuff I don't even hear until Cole points it out. He's done multiple Kendrick Lamar albums. He's doing Mr. Morale right now. But dropping today is his breakdown of the Super Bowl halftime show and all of the things that
that's pretty cool.
People just didn't get or didn't get initially but now do. And just he has described it as the most extensive breakdown of Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance that exists on the internet, and it will publish at some point today. So me and Lou will probably watch that today. Have you told Bennett what we're doing for Easter?
What are you guys doing?
You want to tell Bennett what we're doing for Easter?
Going to a special concert.
Where are you going?
Minneapolis.
To see who?
Kendrick Lamar.
Nice.
How about
man.
that?
How about that? That's gonna be good.
We're gonna
What
go.
is with y'all in Minneapolis? What's the deal with that?
Okay, I knew somebody would think that because that's where we also went to see Taylor Swift. The reasons we end up in Minneapolis is totally unrelated. With Taylor Swift, it was my friends wanted to go, and I said, make sure it's a weekend and make sure it's a direct flight.
Yeah.
And make sure we have good seats. And she found floor seats at a whatever price in Minneapolis on a Saturday night. That's why we went there. This Minneapolis is just the opening night of the tour. This is the first night of the tour.
I gotcha.
It opens in Minneapolis the Saturday night before Easter. And so
That'd be cool.
We decided to pull the trigger. Lou's going to go. What do you think the set list is going to look like? If you had to pick 3 songs and you said he'll play these songs, these are the 3 I want to make sure he plays. What 3 songs do you want to hear?
I would want him to, first of all, probably, TV Off.
TV Off? Because you like the mustard part. Everybody likes the mustard part. All right.
And then also, I would also want him to play, let me think, DNA.
DNA. That's a classic. DNA is a classic.
And then maybe All the Stars.
All the Stars with SZA, because she's going to be there too, huh? So that's going to be a party, right?
That's a big show.
Are you looking forward to it, Lou?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it too, buddy.
Nice.
We're going to have a good time. All right? So that's what we'll watch today. Follow the Dissect podcast on Spotify or on YouTube, and that should pop into your feed at some point today. I haven't heard it yet, obviously, but just trust me, as somebody who consumes this guy's work, Cole Cushner is the dice. It'll be amazing. It'll be enlightening. You'll learn, no matter what you think you know about that halftime performance, you'll learn stuff you didn't know when you watch this.
What's the best thing we've read?
Top 25 and 1 is updated. I previewed Gonzaga St. Mary's title game in the WCC tournament tonight at 8 o'clock. That's the lead of the top 25 and 1. So if you haven't read that yet, you can find it. It's on the homepage right now, cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow is Wednesday, so we'll get ready for the Grizzlies to extend this 3-game winning streak to 4. Mike Wallace will join me, senior editor, Grind City Media. Should be no?
Tomorrow's Wednesday, Vernon.
Oh, it's Vernon.
Yep.
Mike Wallace is Thursday.
Yep.
I'm just happy to be in town for 3 days in a row.
Well, who are you, man?
I'm just happy to be here for 3 days in a row.
You've lost your mind.
I've lost my mind.
You lost your mind, GP.
You've lost my mind.
You've lost track of stuff.
Yeah, I have lost track of stuff. Have I been home a little too much for you these past couple of days, or you like having me home?
Yeah, it was fun.
It's been fun. All right, it's been fun.
That is as good of an answer as you're going to get.
It's been
You
fun.
better take it.
It's as good of an answer as it gets. So I'll talk to Chris Vernon tomorrow. We'll get ready for 3-game winning streak to become a 4-game winning streak. Should be fun. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. We'll be back here tomorrow at 10. Great job, Lou. Proud of you.
Great job.
You're wonderful. You showed real confidence on the microphone. That's the first thing people struggle with. Till tomorrow. Be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.
Good job, Lou.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Double your chances to win all month long in March with 2 big promotions. On Fridays, embrace the madness and win a share of $150,000 in cash and free play. On Saturdays, starting March 8th, go for the gold and win your share of up to $10,000 in cash and free play in the 80K Fool's Gold giveaway. Enjoy live entertainment all month long and play for your chance to win big in March only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.